Good day, class. Today, we are going to talk about a very important topic that directly affects how our schools are managed and how we, as educators or future educators and community members, contribute to improving the learning experience of our students. This topic is the role of the school head in school-based management or SBM. Let's begin with a bit of background. You may have heard of the Local Government Code of 1991, also known as Republic Act 7160. This law gave more power and responsibility to local governments through decentralization. This means that instead of the national government controlling everything, the local units, including schools, were given more freedom and resources to manage their own affairs. In education, this principle was applied through the introduction of school-based management or SBM. This is a decentralized approach where school heads, teachers, parents, and even students are given a bigger voice and more decision-making power. The goal? To improve education and ensure the best outcomes of our learners. Now, let's define school-based management. SBM is a strategy that transfers significant decision-making authority from the central offices of the Ed or the Department of Education to individual schools. So it's not just about paperwork or policies. It's about empowering people in the school, the principal, the teacher, the parents, and of course the students. They are the one who understand the specific needs and problem of their school. So this is closely aligned with the principle of subsidiarity. This means that decisions should not be made by the smallest, lowest, or less centralized authority capable of addressing an issue. To simply put, those who are closer to the problem are in the best position to solve it. Now, let's talk about the advantages of SBM. SBM can only work well if the right environment and right practices are in place. So let's go over these key conditions and I'll give you one example for each to make it clearer. Okay, so first, teachers and school heads must be given the opportunity to make choices and actively participate in school improvement planning. This means that school leaders and teachers should be part of decisions that shape the school's direction. For example, during a planning session, the principal and teachers might decide to focus the budgeting on improving reading programs after noticing low reading comprehension scores in early grades. Second, the involvement of parents and teachers must be strongly encouraged and highly welcome. Parents are valuable partners in the learning process, and their ideas can help the school grow. For instance, parents may suggest creating a weekend reading corner in the barangay hall, and they even volunteer to manage it. This boosts students' interest in reading and strengthens school community ties. Third, stakeholders must participate in the development of a school improvement plan and have a say on resource allocation to meet specific needs. This means that budgeting and planning are not done by the principal alone. It's a shared responsibility. For example, in one school, teachers, parents, and barangay officials help decide how to spend a donated fund. Instead of buying new chairs, they agreed to fix the broken ones and use the remaining money to buy visual aids for classrooms. Fourth, higher authorities must actively encourage thoughtful experimentation and innovation in an atmosphere where mistakes are viewed as learning experiences and be willing to share authority. Schools should feel safe to try new ideas without fear of punishment if they fail. For example, a school tried using blended learning for a month in some classes. Although it had challenges, the division supervisor praised their effort and helped them refine the approach rather than criticizing the setbacks. And finally, teachers must develop reflection and problem solving skills. So the teachers should regularly assess their teaching methods and seek ways to improve. For example, after noticing her students struggled with math, a teacher reviewed her teaching style, asked colleagues for advice, and started using visual tools. Her students' performance improved. So the success of SBM depends on active participation, collaboration, innovation, and reflection. When everyone from teachers to parents to higher authorities work together, schools became more effective and student outcomes improved. Thank you, class. Let's remember that in SBM, everyone has a role, and every role matters.